Review on the XT 660X. Just so if anybody's interested in buying one, give them a bit of a honest review from someone that's been riding 40 years. Before we get into the video, just so you know where I'm coming from, been riding sports bikes all my life, you name it, from the first Fireblades to FZ1s to CBR Fowars back in the early days, you know, RD 350s, 250 Super Dreams. I've had everything. At the moment in my collection, I've got my Tiger 800 and a CBR 929 Fireblade, and I've got two of these. I've got this one and a 21-inch the R model. Now I've only just bought both of these in the last 4 weeks. This one, showroom condition, 3,800 mile, came to me completely standard. So I've added the hand guards, I've added the DNA stage 1 and 2 air filters, I've added the Kev fuel mods and the O2 sensor mod, I've added the Leo Vinci exhaust. So this was standard. I've put heated grips on and my sat nav. But when I got this bike, it was 100% standard with 3,800 miles. The R model I've just bought, again, is as brand new with only 2,600 miles. I mean, rare finds, both of them. Now I've had 5 of these now with the 2 I've just bought. Now, so I can give an honest review on them. So if anybody's thinking of buying one, here's an honest review. Now, as far as reliability goes, these are bulletproof. Really are bulletproof. There's not much to go wrong with them. People ride these around the world, and you know, there's a couple of good reviews on eBay from magazines that have gone to Timbuktu and have gone around Africa on them. I mean, they run wherever. They're a good, reliable bike. Now, power-wise, if you're looking for something to rip your arms off, you know, KTM, you know, Ducati Super Motard style power, this isn't it, and this isn't the bike for you. This is what I would call smile per mile, just a good, fun, through the mountains, green laning. I wouldn't take them off road really. If you get a good one, they're just, you just having to damage them or destroy them. But anyway, this one and the other one I've just bought, because I'm in the Highlands of Scotland, I just wanted something to, when I want to go out just for a few hours, you know, 3-4 hour ride. These are brilliant for just going off the tracks, single track roads, going up through the mountains. They're just brilliant bikes for that. Seating position's great. You really do feel like the old scrambler sort of style bike, although they're not. With the mods that I've added, you only get about an extra 6-7 brake horse, but it's the smoothing out of the jerkiness. You'll get people say, oh, these are jerky down at low ends and all the rest of it. Now, they can be. They're hit and miss. Like I say, I've had 5 of these. The R I've got and one I had before, never had to adjust them. There was no snatchiness. They were brilliant. And 3 of the 5 I've had were snatchy as hell. This was the worst one, to be honest. It was horrendously snatchy at low RPMs and low gears. But if you put the Kev fuel mod, don't buy anybody else's that calls it the Kev fuel mod. Kev sells these from Australia. Now, if you get the Kev fuel mod, and if yours is 07 onwards, you'll need the O2 sensor as well. You put those on. You don't need to add the filters. You don't need to add exhaust. They work on standard, completely standard bikes. But they absolutely take out the snatchiness. This is smooth as anything now. I mean, I can ride this 10 mile an hour and there's no jerkiness, no snatchiness. It's superb. It really does transform the bike. As far as brakes go, I think they're Brembros, but probably only by name, to be honest with you. They're adequate, but, you know, something pulls out to you and you're doing 70 mile an hour, it takes you half out stop, but they're adequate for the bike. Riding position superb. it's just a nice fun bike. Would I have one as my only bike being a seasoned rider? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have it as my own bike, as my only bike, because, for me, after 3-4 hours, 5 hours, if you go out, I went out the other day and I did 300 miles on it, or 270 miles, and that was great, but you wouldn't want to do that every day on one of these. Well, I'll go out with my Tiger 800, I'll go and do 300 miles, 350, come back, I'll go out the next day and do the same. They will sit at 80 mile an hour on the motorway, 100 mile an hour, whatever, great. This bike, the fun is between 0 and 60, 70. It will sit at 80 all day long on the motorway, but they're a bit vibey for that. This one will go up 9500, absolutely topped out at 100 mile an hour. But it's not what you buy them for. You don't buy them to thrash them. So, for a first-time rider or new rider, grab one. They're great. You'll absolutely have as much fun as possible. If you're a seasoned rider and you want one for a second bike, 100%. Highly recommend them. Like I say, I've had 5 of these. I sold the last 2 4 years ago and just thought, they're not, you can't use them for long distance, really. I wouldn't. But then I seemed to buy another one. Then I sold that one. And now I've just bought 2 more. I'm not going to get rid of these 2. I'm going to keep them because it puts a smile on your face. And I think that's what biking's about. This is not going to rip your arms off. You're going to keep your licence with it, but while having fun. I've only been out on this one since I bought it. It's winter, so it gets put away. And the R model, I've only taken it up and down the road. But this, I went out and did, 260 miles on it. And I was just smiling. I wasn't breaking the speed limits. I was sitting on the 60 mile an hour roads at 60 and enjoying the ride. So that's what these are about. These aren't about, boy racers, getting your knee down, KTM, rip your arm off speed. They're not. They are short shift, straight. It goes straight to 70. It's quick as, not a problem, quick as anything. But they're just a fun bike. Like I say, the mods you can put on these, I've just put these on. These are Leo Vince exhausts. Personally, I think they're the best exhausts you can buy for the XT. They come with 3 sorts of baffles. I've got the quiet ones in, but you can have them where it's straight through, flowing flames out. I mean, it really does sound the business. Let's see if I can do this without doing my clutch. Do I need to put my clutch in? No. So, yeah, as you can see, this one's like brand new. I mean, it really has. It's done nothing. Absolutely done nothing. This one was off the road for 6 years in a collection. When it came up, I just had to buy it. And then, funny enough, 2 weeks later, an R came up with less mileage, and again, as brand new. So I just had to have it. The wife can ride that one, and I'll ride this one. But yeah, you can put the DNA stage 2 filter, so that's the outer filter, and then there's an inner filter. You can then put the O2 sensor mod, which goes on here. It's a plug and play, and you've got a fuel mod under the seat, which just adjusts the fuel. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of any faults for them, really. I'm just trying to think of any faults. There isn't any, really. If you know what sort of bike it is, it's very industrial. I call it tractorish, very industrial riding. You can jump on it, it'll start every time. They do run forever. They are fun. They do have a big following, these bikes. The only thing I would say is if you're going to buy one of these, and you want a good one, hold out for the best you can find. They do come up occasionally, probably once every 4 or 5 months or whatever, one will come up. Like I say, I had 2 pop up in the last month and I had to buy them both. But faults on these, and it's not a fault on the bike, you get the paint all coming off the bike if they're used in all weathers. That's not doesn't mean the bike's bad, but expect to pay a lot cheaper for it. Prices have gone up in the last few years. This bike here, I could have bought, well, I did buy, same bike 4 years ago from a shop for 2,800 it was, 2,850 I paid for, same mileage, same condition 4 years ago. I've just had to pay 4.5 for this. So they've gone up a good 1,500 quid, for mint ones that is. And the only thing I would say is when you buy one of these, you'll find loads of them all around the 399 mark. And probably only one of them's worth that at any one time because of their condition. But shops are just trying to sell donkeys at the same price. So look at the conditions on them. Check the paints on the bikes. What is a telltale sign is if you look at this here, this, I think it's the oil feed. But if you look at that, when they've been used in all weathers and so on, they really do deteriorate. These rust and the paint comes off. You can see this one. Still see the copper washer. It's never seen rain. Absolutely never seen rain. All these rust on ones that have been out in all day, all weathers, you know, it is absolutely a stunning condition, this one. And like I say, the R one I've got is just the same, if not better, if it can get any better. You know, it really is as brand new. But yeah, so anybody thinking of buying one, I can't see any faults. You'll get about, I don't know, 120 miles out of a tank. Cheap to service, really are. They run forever. I think they're a really, really, really good bike to buy. Like I say, I wouldn't have it as my only bike, but as a second bike, it's a must-have for me. I just think they're mile per mile. They're absolutely brilliant. But like I say, I keep repeating it. If you want KTM power, this isn't it. But if you want to keep your license and have a real good bit of fun and can go off the green tracks and everywhere else, yeah, buy one. Yeah, I'd say buy one. They're overlooked by a lot of people, but for some reason, I don't normally buy a bike more than once. Once I've had one, I don't buy one, but for some reason, I've had 5 of these as a second bike. I think the only other bike I've really bought more than once is the Yamaha XT. I've had 3 of those because they're cracking bikes as well. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody out, you know. Yeah, buy one of them. The difference is between the R and the X, obviously, is a 21-inch front wheel. They both ride the same, blah, blah, blah. The only bit of a pain in the arse with the 21-inch front wheel, which is not a pain because you're buying it for more going off-roady or whatever, is you've got less tyre choice. On the X, obviously 17-inch rims, you've got whatever tyre choice you want. On the 21-inch, you're limited to, I don't know, half a dozen tyres. But yeah, good bikes. Tall bikes, but it's not a problem. They're not heavy to move around. I've got a 30-inch inside leg and I have no problem. Yeah, good bikes. Hope this helps somebody out.